How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Lowball Kings podcast, first ever episode. We apologize if we're not, good at this right now. This is the first ever episode, and my name is David Paleo. My dad is Dave Paleo Sr. and Colin Hayes, and we focus on helping as many people as possible, growing their eBay business, and just trying to be better overall in life. And I brought my dad here because he's the one that taught Colin and I how to do it. And in return, we've been able to make a lot of money doing it and, change our lives and for our kids and, for the future. So, just a backstory, Colin and I went to middle school together, played basketball together in high school and all that stuff. And, we started doing eBay together and my dad was the one that taught us. So what better to have him in the first episode and talk about how he started doing eBay and what keeps him motivated and all that stuff. So we have a few questions for him, and we're going to start it like that. How did you start selling on eBay?
Well, that was a little bit hard for me because in the beginning I was like just selling on the flea market just for the fun of it. I started buying units.
Storage units?
Yeah, and then everybody was talking about eBay. And
what year was that when that was going down?
Oh,
It was when I was younger.
Yeah, maybe 2002.
2002?
I think.
Nah, that's what.
Well, because at that point,
that was how long ago?
Yeah, at that time,
that was 20 years ago.
eBay. But I never sell on eBay.
Okay.
And I started selling like 2006 on the flea market.
Uh-huh.
And everybody was talking about eBay. A bunch of guys that used to go to buy storage units, they will buy the crappy units ever for like $100, and everybody was like, "Why?" And they will say like, "Oh, eBay paid for it," and I don't understand it. At that point,
What were you selling at that point?
just regular stuff,
Storage unit stuff,
Just
furniture,
regular-
clothing.
just anything that came out of the store.
but only on the flea market. I never tried eBay till 2008.
Nah. 2012 probably.
Yeah, around there.
So I remember when I was younger, 2012, I was like a freshman in high school. My dad brought me like some coins, or I don't know, some kind of like San Francisco Giants World Series coins. And I remember he was like, "Hey, if you post this, I'll let you keep like 50%." And in my head, I was like, "Fuck out of here," Like, I didn't want to do that. I was trying to play Minecraft and
How much was it worth? How much was it worth?
I have no idea. Like I know, no, I think they're like 80, bro. But back in the day, my brain was not on that. I was trying to play basketball and play Minecraft and Clash of Clans.
You couldn't figure out the app or what?
Yeah, but there's the thing that on the beginning I thought, well, I can bring the stuff in, and if he does eBay, and then we can even go half.
Yeah,
I don't care about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
what you do.
Yeah. And I knew gonna be good, but I never thought gonna be this good.
Yeah.
So then, around like what time did you actually start like selling? Like you're pumping out items on eBay by yourself.
Well, when I started the store.
So my dad used to have a thrift store full of like sport antique stuff, like vintage jerseys, bobbleheads, Corona signs, bar light signs, like 49er jackets, Raider jackets, all that kind of stuff. And how long did you have that for?
Like 3 years.
3 years. So he had that for 3 years. When I was in high school, it was like my sophomore, senior, and junior year. So I graduated 2016. So like probably got like 2013.
Around there, yeah.
And he had it for like how many years? Like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 years he had that. And where were we at before that?
Wait a second. No, because I asked him when he started selling, and you said at the thrift store, but I swear that you were selling.
I started before the store. I started selling on eBay before the store.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were selling like just regular style. Like I used to buy the remote controls. And
I remember.
Thing that was maybe a year or two before that, because we don't know nothing about electronics, nothing at all.
Yeah.
And I was like calling like, I bought a shirt for me, and then if it doesn't sell, I can keep it.
Yeah.
So
and
Colin
that was
used
my
to,
main thing.
what my dad was saying right now is that Colin used to only buy clothing to sell that would only fit him. And if it didn't fit him, he wouldn't buy it. So just in case it didn't sell, that he would keep it. That's what my dad said.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I feel like clothing is good, because like if I was able to make money only buying large shirts that I liked, imagine if I were to buy clothes that like anybody would like.
Exactly.
You know?
So, yeah, that's what my dad was saying. That like a lot of people on eBay, they only sell what they like or what fits their needs. So I'll sell whatever the hell I can. I bought teacups the other day. You saw that? I bought some teacups that looked hella nice, and I was like, the heck, and they're in the box brand new. And I bought them. It was like 8 of them for $40, and they go for like 50 each. But it's not. I sell electronics, but if I see something I can make money off of, I'm gonna get it.
But I'm sure that everybody starts that way. Yeah, I mean, like me, I started with
Yeah.
clothing, and then I start pushing the electronics, and I was like, oh my goodness.
You started with clothing too?
Oh yeah, yeah. That was my
I didn't
main.
even know that.
Yeah.
What were you? What kind of clothes were you selling?
I used to go to the thrift store and anything.
He used to buy like Under Armour, North Face,
Yeah.
like the.
I remember the
Yeah.
first time that I thought gonna be good about this Nike Pros, like a really small ladies shirts. Maybe they look almost like a bikinis, but they're shorts. And I was like, oh, well, let's try it. So I put it on bets.
Did you look it up first?
Yeah, but I thought, well, I paid like $2 a piece. So
Okay.
I started at 99 cents. And one went for over $50.
Oh shit.
I was like, holy shit. And then the other one went like $38.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? And I used to do a lot of auctions,
Mhm.
auctions on eBay. And then after that, like you start learning what sells on that way and what sells by now.
So what was the reason for going like mainly from clothes to electronics?
Money wise was way more.
It's just way more.
Yeah, because I started learning all the things, like crazy things that I will buy for like $5, $10, and I used to sell for a couple $100.
Yeah.
Like even 1,000 or more. And I was like, well, in order to find clothing like that, not gonna be happening.
And you gotta really know your clothing to be doing that. Like you really gotta know about that vintage game.
And that sells right now, but before wasn't. Like there wasn't like right now.
Yeah, right now we don't know much about clothing, but we know that there's people making a killing like with vintage stuff.
Yeah.
We like I said, we focus on electronics, but
yeah, that's why I didn't stay on the clothing, was because it's hard to look it up. Whereas like electronics, there's a model number, there's a brand, bam,
right to the point.
You don't even have to know what it is. But with clothing, you can't really just look it up unless it's like a popular like piece of clothing. Yeah. But if it's like a regular like just
there's a lot of brands that we have no idea about.
Brands, like thousands. Yeah. Whereas electronics, there's like less than like a few hundred.
5 phones. All ringing, just making money the whole time. I just got like a couple notifications on eBay too. But yeah, I remember back in the day, I think it was like senior year, I was gonna get ready to go to Oklahoma to go to school out there, and I wanted to start getting some money. So when I moved out there to have a little bit, and that's when Colin and I started selling. It was like our senior year, probably 3 months before school ended. We started going to the flea markets even before school. Remember? We were going hard. Yeah, I remember I used to buy like the jackets, like the what do they call like Letterman jackets, but like from the sports teams, $80, buying for like 5. I remember I started selling all my Nike stuff from like the track team and stuff.
Yeah,
fucking sold everything. I didn't care.
Nike Elites. I remember that time when you bundled up. You had like 10 Elite, like 20.
I remember
Elites.
I used to collect Nike Elite socks, and I bundled up like 30, and I sold them for like 180. And at the time, 180 was like, oh my god.
Yeah, even though you spent like 500 on that.
I probably spent like 500. It was a straight loss, but
that was a weird trend, bro. $15 socks. Bro, $15 socks. Nowadays that would be like $30 a pair.
For the ones I got right now, it was like a 10-pack at Ross for like $8, and I freaking love them. Like I don't care no more.
Back in the day, that was like That was like a sign of status, though.
Yeah, when you have the Nike Elites with the Nike sandals.
That's crazy though that you could even sell used socks, bruh.
You can sell anything on eBay. I posted
Isn't that
something on my
crazy?
Instagram. I'm gonna show my dad. I don't know if I have it saved, but these damn beats sold yesterday. But they were like those that were just dangling on the left side.
Okay.
Oh my god, they sold for 12 plus like 7 shipping.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously it's not a crazy thing, but it's just the fact that it sold. Like, what the hell?
Well, that's the thing. Like the electronics.
What's the craziest thing you've sold? Because you've sold so much crazy stuff.
Shoot. Hard to think about. Like,
Do you want to talk about the deal you got going on right now?
with my storage unit?
So my dad bought a storage unit for how much?
Like 380.
He bought a storage unit for $380, and there was these little small bags with like a wire in them, right? Or what are they?
Yeah. Well, there's different types.
Different types of the thing, but it's like a wire for like. Is it like medical?
Yeah, it's like a maintenance of
It's for like a maintenance for like a machine, but there's probably like a couple thousand of those pieces, different models, and every other day he's selling like $3,000-$4,000 worth of these little things that they all came in a storage unit, probably like a 10x10, but full of that stuff, just full of that stuff. And he's for so long he was like, yeah, once I get to that pile, for like years. Like when I was even living in town, I was living out of town when I would come visit.
Yeah.
And once I get to those, and I'd be like, man, he's never gonna get to those. He started posting them, and he's been making an extra $5,000 a week off those things, and he still has thousands of them. It's ridiculous, but I'll see if I can find a picture to put him up. Or I don't know. But
How many storages do you think you've bought?
oh yeah, that's a good question.
Because people hear that, like normal people are gonna hear that in the video. They're gonna,
crazy.
they're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, they're just trying to hype it up. But the truth is, you gotta buy a lot. Like you gotta be buying, like it's like a lottery ticket. Like each one you buy, it's a chance.
Oh
right?
yeah.
How many do you think it is?
One point I was buying like 3 a week.
3 a week?
Yeah.
But
It's a lot of
this one's
work.
been doing this for 10 years. No,
Yeah.
that's we're talking about eBay 10 years. Probably like 15 years you've been going hard, like
Yeah.
minimum like 2-3 a month minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say 3 a month. That'd be like 40 a year. About 40 a year.
Oh yeah.
Like
One
15
time.
years.
Yeah.
One
You're gonna
time.
find some crazy stuff.
One time. 1 month I bought like 12, and
12
they
in 1
were
month?
huge and far away one from the other. So that was hard for me because I can buy anything, but in order to sell it,
In order to process, fucking pick it up. That's the thing.
But like when you buy all those that far away, do you have to like take everything back, or how does
You
it
have
work?
to take everything
You
out
have
of
to
there.
clean the
With the
whole
trailer.
Spot and then filter it out for the garbage, like what you're gonna sell.
Most likely that I used to do that on the unit.
There's a garbage can.
Try to get the garbage out.
They don't care, like they just say you.
No, but I had to take it with me.
Oh,
But I tried to process everything right there. So
organize it.
yeah, on the beginning when
How
I
did-
started it,
Oh,
we used to find like gold and money and all kind of stuff. And nowadays it's like you just find stuff,
Yeah.
like nothing crazy. But that unit that David was talking about, I bought it like 4 or 5 years ago, and I just
had it up
save
there.
it. I just save it, and I knew it was good. But at that time when I was searching
Mhm.
on eBay, I don't find anything for sale with that brand. So I was kind of scared about posting it because it was kind of medical stuff, and I was like, maybe later on, and maybe later on, and maybe later on. So that was like 4 or 5 years before we got the warehouses and everything.
Do you think that like, because you said you haven't got like crazy ones in years, do you think that like maybe nowadays, like the people that work there, they don't sell the good ones, like they go through it or something, or
So there's a guy my dad tells me about that he does YouTube, and he at this point he gets a lot of views, and he showed me his channel. He has a lot of
he's
views.
local.
He's in like in Turlock.
Oh shit.
So he gets a lot of views. He makes more money from the views than fucking reselling, right?
Easy.
So what he's doing is he's just paying whatever. He doesn't care. He just wants the
For the
footage,
content.
and he's just ruining the game for everyone else. and like, who knows what he gets in there, but there's a lot of people now that do the videos like that, and he's just at least here locally that my dad when he goes to look at the storage units that guy's just buying them out at whatever just for because he knows he's gonna get money from the views either way. But that's just here locally. I don't know anywhere else. I know. So how did you start selling storage units? What got you into that? I know the answer, but explain.
Just for the fun of it, I always tell my friends that I was looking for gold, and I just love gold. You know?
But it was because of Storage Wars, right? The show.
Oh yeah, we watched it. I think everybody.
Everyone was on that damn wave.
Oh yeah, yeah. And actually, the first one that we bought it together. Well, I bought it
with him,
and I tell my son and my wife, "Hey, give me a hand so we can sell this like a yard sale, and we split the money." And I pay like I want to say like $300, and we made maybe like 1,800.
He gave me like $5 though. Said we're gonna split it. He gave me like $5 for the whole day.
Yeah, I knew that was a lie, bro. Because when I first met this fool and I came to your house, this fool had some Kobe's. He had some fresh Kobe's because back in the day you showed off with your kicks. And I remember like the first time I came to your house, you were like, "You want to know how I got my Kobe's?" I was like, "Sure." You're like, "Come back here." And you take me back by your little shed back there, and there's like a giant dumpster full of cans. And you're like, "Yeah, I had to fill this up."
No, I used to do that too.
Yeah.
I used to, dude. My dad would take me when I was like little. He'd be like, "You want to make money? Let's go fucking collect cans." Bro, we'd go around the white neighborhood because we had a newer house. We fucking collect cans out of the dumpsters, bruh. And I remember like a Karen pulled up and like started yelling at us.
Your dad was throwing some of his own trash in there at the same time.
Almost, but not.
So my dad hasn't paid. My dad hasn't paid for trash service in probably like 15 years. What he does, he just throws it at the gas stations. This guy's got so much fucking money, and he doesn't pay for nothing. He saves pennies.
I'm gonna grab another beer.
Yeah, grab another beer. But it's hella funny. But yeah, he used to take me and collect cans, and it'd take like 6 months to like make like $200. But dude, back in the day when I was smaller, like I always, fucking tried at least.
And that was fun. That was funny.
That took me.
That was funny because the first time that we bought that unit, and David got some money, and he was like, "Never gonna get more cans. I'm never gonna save more cans anymore."
Oh yeah, I think
because he got some money out of the unit.
Because I think he gave me like $150 maybe.
And it was just different money compared to the cans.
Compared to the cans, it took me 6 months to get that kind of money. So I'm never getting a. It's crazy how you level up over time. Because I remember I was working at Sam's Club, and I was going through some stuff there. Like I just hated working there. I remember I called my dad. I was like, "I'm never working at a job like this again." So hopefully, it just keeps going like that.
Yeah.
All right, I got a good question for you. All right, so luckily you were able to show me how to do eBay, right? How many other people do you think that you've shown?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know, so many.
And not a lot of people are still doing it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not for everybody.
It's not for everyone.
Why do you think that is? Like, what do you think?
Here's the thing. A lot of people aren't meant to do stuff on their own. We have the discipline to do it every day. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone can boss themselves. Like not everyone has that.
No, I think my answer to that is like, for example, me, since I was like 5 years old, I love to resell.
He's been
My mom used to buy fruit on Mexico for the family, and all of a sudden I have a table outside my house with all the fruit selling it, and she was like, "Hey, I bought that for the family. Just buy some more." So,
he used to
I resell it.
Resell it.
You started off with fruit?
I was selling anything.
Yeah. You always tell that story. You didn't know that, huh?
Nah.
See, that's what this podcast is move.
Yeah.
I was
so my grandma used to buy fruit. You'd chop it up, put like chile, powder, all that stuff, limon,
and a little
and cups, and he'd resell it, and he'd have the
Those are
neighbors.
fire. That sounds fire.
He'd have the neighbors helping him out.
That's
and he'd
crazy.
give him like a quarter each.
Yeah.
He'd keep 100 pesos.
I was around 10 years old, and have like 5 workers selling for me.
That's crazy.
I just love this, like I have tell so many people how to do eBay, and they still call me, hey, have a question because I have a return or after like months, okay, so what happened? They don't know how to do it. I don't mind to tell people, and yeah, but there's not many,
Not many.
you guys, my brother, few people they keep it up. You know what I mean? Maybe because they see the difference in our lives. Like how hard we used to work and everything. The guys at the flea market that I know, a bunch of guys are still calling me like, "Hey, bro, like how we do this shipping?" And I tell them, "Just come by and I help you."
And do they?
Yeah. The other day we sent this. I tell my friend, "Hey, bring it over," because he don't know how to print the labels. Jonathan, and I told him to bring it in, and I was like, "Are you planning to send that on that box? You can see the item inside." Like that was like so bad, and I said, "No. You see, that's the thing. You have to learn how to do this because there's like a customer service. Like the people will see this and will be like, oh, bro, come on.
Yeah.
So I take the whole box off and I put it on my warehouse and he was like, oh, Pelayo, that's like a professional. Yeah, that's what we do every single day. At least we try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He saw you with the wrap. He saw you with the clear wrap hitting it hella hard or something. That's when he said that,
I saw him just spinning that shit like 10
but
times.
I double boxed everything. You know what I mean? Especially because there was a bunch of glass in it. It was like a grill or something like that. And bro, like if you're gonna do this, remember he just not making enough money right now. But his life is changing though, because I used to buy all that from him.
and now he's putting it on.
He's selling it on eBay, and I don't care. And
Yeah.
I still buy
Helps him
stuff
out.
from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Colin was just telling me that the guy that's working for him right now, that Colin was like, that he's a younger kid, like 16, and he's been asking.
Whoa, we can't be talking about that child labor, man.
He's like 20, and he was like, oh, he's asking how to level up, and Colin was like, I'll help you. Colin was telling me that he'll help him. He'll take him to the flea market and show him how to flip clothes. And I was like, dude, we're too fucking nice. Like so many people.
Yeah. If we're gonna have, like, if I'm gonna have a younger kid, like I don't want him to be in my warehouse slaving, like doing items. I want him to have like some kind of like purpose where like he's gonna learn and then
take the skills and
plus, yeah, he's a kid, so he only works a few hours anyways, So like, I gotta give him some kind of hope, like to look forward to, because processing items, like the way that we do it, it's so boring. Like the way that I have it set it up, I have it set up so it's so boring, but it's because it's easy that way,
Yeah. What keeps you motivated to keep going on eBay?
Love it. My daughter told me once, Dad, you are workaholic. I tell her, what? You are workaholic. What that means? Like I'm a Mexican. Like I don't understand. And she told me, and I said, I don't know, maybe. But this is the thing, though. Like the way I see it is like I used to work hard. You know what I mean? I used to make no money, but I had to work like 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, and I wasn't making any money, barely to make it.
Barely to make ends meet.
And that's why I tell, like, being here at the warehouse and processing stuff and posting on my chair, listen to music, and if it's cold, I have my AC. If it's too hot, I got my,
You're living the dream. It doesn't get better than that, guys. Like,
I mean, so I just love it.
Yeah, people they like Carlos. He was telling me like he'll be like, yeah, man, I'll come next week. Yeah, but he's like, I know this is boring, man, but I don't mind doing it. But for me, like, I know it's boring, but like the only other work experience I had was like in the fields for like 3 days, right? Only 3 days.
So Colin's he's a white guy, but he like once he moved to California, he's straight with Mexicans. Like we taught him how to eat tacos, but I remember we used to have this other friend. His name was Jose. He used to work in the fields, like picking tomatoes and stuff like that. And Colin, he's been trying to get money since you were younger. And like freshman year, I remember he was like, "Yeah, I was in the fields this weekend." I was like, "What the hell?"
I remember that.
Yeah,
And he was in the fields, and he was in there. He's working.
Yeah, when I moved, when I was like young, like 13, the only thing I wanted was a RuneScape membership, which is like $5 a month. But my mom wouldn't even give me that. She did not give me anything, like really not anything but the necessities.
Yeah.
So I was like, one day, because Jose was telling me that he was making like $100 a day in the tomato fields. And I was like, all right, let's go. I was like, I'm athletic. I play basketball. I was like, I'm about to be the fastest one out there. And then once we started, I realized that slavery still exists. Dude, you got like you got 70-year-olds next to me, just like,
Yeah, no. And you were like, what the heck?
Yeah, and I even had Jose's cousin, the one that drove us there. He was like stealing my buckets.
Oh, what the
So it was like you can't even trust anybody either.
Colin's like,
And so
I didn't speak Spanish to communicate and shit.
I worked 3 days, and you either had to be on your knees in the dirt, and it was all rocks crushing your knees, or you had to be bent over. And so I worked 3 days, and then Jose was like, "I got your check, bud, $80." And I was like, "All right, man." I was like, "All right, man, I'm out." And then later on, I had nothing going. I was just playing video games, whatever, doing my thing, and then that's when I heard you talking about eBay or something, and that was you were talking about making $80 off an item. So I was like, huh? So ever since then, I was just eager to, like this is something that I'm not hearing about.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but yeah, when I started telling you guys about selling on eBay, you asked like, why should I sell? And I thought, don't worry about it like that. I do have a bunch of clothes. You can grab something and sell it. I don't care. Like I don't used to pay much for it, and we still buy them from the same place.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's the thing. Though, like sometimes we do this for the money, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays, I that's what I was telling David. Like I don't even check or like I just happy to be here and then do what I do. You know.
Once you get your piece of the pie, you don't mind sharing a little bit because there's enough for everybody.
And here's the thing, like, think about that. Obviously, my dad helped like here locally, but it translated to us doing YouTube. Dude, like I get DMs every day on Instagram people talking about like, dude, you changed my life. I quit my job. Like it's crazy. It all started right here.
Yeah, no cap. Like if I didn't know that what you taught me, I would have ended up staying in school and I would have ended up being like $200,000 in debt. Still not even having a job. You have to go and you have to work for free for a couple of years before you can become a physical therapist. Yeah. And that's when you start making like 50, 60,000 a year. And that's not even that much.
Touching that every month now, man.
Yeah, that's not even that much. Yeah. So like a lot of the stuff you taught me, it opened my eyes up. Like not just to eBay, but which I mean that's still what I'm doing, but it just opened my eyes up to the fact that like you can make money without going the traditional route. And like if you think about certain situations, like you think outside the box a little bit, you can do something there. Like you can make money. Like if you're in some kind of situation that's, it might seem like the only route is college. That's what most people think. It's the only route is like college and get a job, or if not, go to the grocery store or like a local business and get a job. That's all people know. But like you were the first person that opened my eyes to where like you can make money without going through like the system, what they teach you, because they don't tell you anything about like flipping an item. They don't tell you anything about like how to handle money,
I remember, I don't know if David remember that, but we were at the thrift store, and I'm sorry, we were at the flea market walking, and this guy started like everything $1. So I told my son, let's go, let's check it up, and everything was on the floor, and I just found a